Hello, everybody. Welcome to the PAWcast with Dr. Christie. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the PAWcast with Dr. Christie. I'm Dr. Christie, and today we're joined by a very special guest. Her name is Josette. We're going to be talking about hair and mental health. And you might be wondering, what? Hair and mental health? Don't worry. You'll understand more as we get into it. But before we start, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about me. I'm a certified emergency medicine physician, and I have a master's degree in counseling psychology. And I'm just wondering if you are struggling, if you're out there living in survival mode. Well, if you are, I get it, I've been there. But if you want to go from surviving to thriving, I can help. I've put together a comprehensive, high-skilled virtual program that is complete with video tutorials, a workbook, community forums, art, and community group coaching led by me. And if you are curious and you want to learn more, you can visit the website at www.doggonedepression.com. And when you're on the site, you'll see some free resources that you can download. Look forward to hearing from you. Now let's get started. Welcome, Josette.
Hi.
Tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and what you do.
Well, my name is Josette Desrosier, and I'm the owner of California Hair Extension Salon, Academy, and Hair Loss Center. Basically, I do anything from hair extensions, hair replacement. I'm a custom wig maker. I deal with a lot of hair loss clients. I'm a non-surgical hair loss specialist as well.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing thing. Tell us about the kind of things you see, what kind of people come to you with hair loss. First of all, what is hair loss? What do you call it? And what are the causes?
Well, the most common form of hair loss is called alopecia. And I'm going to look on my notes here, forgive me. So basically, alopecia is an inflammatory hair loss disease that attacks the follicles of the hair, causing the hair to fall out and sometimes not grow back.
Wow. And what are some of the things that can cause alopecia?
Stress, anxiety. It could be medically, it could be due to like cancer treatments. After someone has had a baby, that can induce a form of alopecia. A lot of things can cause alopecia.
I can relate to the hair loss
stress.
With stress. I remember a time I was losing hair by the clumpfuls. My life was, going a million miles an hour. I was stressed out all the time. And I didn't know how to make it stop. But fortunately, with some stress management and some improvement in nutrition, it slowed down eventually. Yeah. It went back to normal.
Nutrition is a big one as well.
And I remember reading a little bit about things you can do nutritionally to promote hair growth. And I know one thing is eating more protein.
Yes.
Because the body is going to send its resources to the most important organs first. Brain, heart, lungs, etc. And the last thing that gets the nutrients are the hair and nails.
Right.
So increasing the protein intake can be helpful. As can the multivitamins.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, supplements.
Supplements. Are there any specific supplements that you recommend?
There's one called it's with a company called Nature Sunshine. It's called Hair, Skin, and Nails.
Okay.
That's a really good one that I refer my clients to. Actually, I sell it to them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because a lot of times we don't, with this fast pace, I do mostly women. I do men too, but I do mostly women as my clientele. In this fast paced economy, we don't get our 8 servings of vegetables a day or the proper nutrients that we should get in a day to have healthy growing hair. So taking the supplement is a good way to provide what we don't get.
Right. And I'm sure most of us are deficient I know I don't get my 8 servings of fruits and vegetables a day.
I know I don't. I mean, I wear my own wig, so.
And you look beautiful, I may
Oh,
say.
thank you.
Tell me a little bit more about what you do when a person comes in and they have an extensive amount of hair loss. What do you do for them? How do you create a look that can, restore their appearance?
Well, it depends on the extent of the hair loss. I mean, I just had a client that she deals with what we're going to talk about today. She deals with trichotillomania. And it's an impulsive disease to actually pull your hair out. It's very relaxing for them. So she pulled more of her hair out.
Mhm.
And I had to give her something that's called a weave, to where I covered her hair. I braided what was left of her hair and I put a net on it, because if they can't get to it, they won't get to it. They won't pull it. And then I applied hair to the net. Sometimes I do with clients that have a certain type of alopecia, to where it's called female pattern baldness, where they're very thin up here. So I apply a top piece here, and I'll maybe combine it with some hair extensions in the back and along the sides. So that just depends on what type of hair loss they have and what look they're trying to achieve.
So it's interesting about the fact that when you cover the hair with a net, that the person with that impulse to pull their hair doesn't pull it.
No.
Do they typically tell you that they still have the impulse, or do they direct it somewhere else?
Normally they have a certain place that they pull. Okay, let's say if they pull in the front, they're not going to go. They may have the front just all pulled out, but they'll have a bunch of hair in the back.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they won't touch that area. But if they can get to the front, they will pull it out, or vice versa.
Interesting. I did a little bit of research to familiarize myself again with trichotillomania, and you're spot on. It is an impulse control disorder, and it's where a person has that irresistible urge to pull their hair. It could be eyelashes, eyebrows, hair from the scalp, and they tend to pull more when they're stressed out. So it would seem to me that if someone with this disorder didn't have good coping mechanisms, they might tend to pull hair more often.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, the client that I did, I asked her when she started pulling her hair out. She said, as far as when she was a little girl, she always messed with her hair, but her parents never thought anything of it. But she said, I said, when did you start pulling it out to the point where people would notice, where it would become obvious that you have no hair in that certain spot? She said, after she had kids, her anxiety just went through the roof, and she just kept pulling it out and pulling it out. And I told her, I explained to her, I said, we're gonna have to go to another method to do her hair, because to accommodate her hair loss condition. I can still give her the hair of her dreams. We just have to go to another method to do it. I have to just find another way to do it. And then she said something like, well, I'll just have to stop. And I just held her hand. I said, you can't just stop without help. It doesn't mean she's not crazy or anything. It's just like when she pulls her hair out, it relaxes them. It's like if somebody could go and have a glass of wine.
Right.
It's the same equivalent.
Well, and when you take away a coping mechanism, you need to replace it with something else.
Something healthy, yes.
Otherwise, you're going to go back to what's familiar, whether it be hair pulling, alcohol, drugs, excessive work, or excessive exercise, or overeating. Anytime you take that coping mechanism away, it's crucial to have something to put in its place.
Absolutely, yes.
So one of the things I work on in the program that I have is helping people to develop tools to help them cope with their stress. One thing I found people tell me is helpful is a exercise. I call it the brain dump breathing exercise. And basically you take out some paper and a pencil, and the morning, first thing, you write down all the things that are running around in your mind that you're stressed out about.
Yeah.
Then you set your intention on how you would prefer to be feeling for the day, come up with an action that will take you in that direction, and then you close out with 1 minute of box breathing. You
Right.
breathe in for a count of 5, 4, hold it for a count of 5, breathe out for a count of 5. And I have found that when people do this every day and get in the habit of doing it, then when they get stressed out during the day, they can pull that tool out and use it at that time.
I'm one of your patients. So I definitely found it helpful for me. And I think that my clients, a lot of the vast majority of my clients that deal with hair loss will find it helpful for them.
And that's just one of many tools that is available in the program. And tell me a little bit more about how it's helped you. What did you experience when you first started the exercise, and now 3 weeks later, what do you feel?
Well, when I first started, I call it getting things out. It kind of like breaks up everything. It's not a fun place to be. However, it is necessary, I found. It just broke up everything. I was very emotional because I'm writing all this stuff out and I'm getting it out of my body. Same thing when you eat, I don't know, when you have, what do you call it, poison from food poisoning. The first thing your body needs to do is get it out or you will die. Same thing mentally. When the mind has been suppressed, it needs to get that. You need to get that stuff out. It needs to unload it so it can proper functionally. So I found the first week was kind of tough, and then I kept doing the exercise of the dump, which is writing everything out that you're feeling at that moment. It doesn't have to even be 2 minutes. You just write everything out, and it's going to be painful. It's going to hurt, but get it out no matter what. Even when you're feeling good, get it out. I mean, I haven't done my brain dump. I usually do it in the morning. I didn't do it this morning, but I'm going to do it today. And gradually, I noticed that I had less negative things to write down.
Mm-hmm. And I do caution people when they first start to just give themselves 2 minutes of writing so they don't get overwhelmed by it.
Right.
Right. And I've noticed a difference in you in a short period of time.
Have you?
I have. You're much brighter and lighter.
Oh, thank you.
So proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot, doctor.
You're welcome. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the trichotillomania.
Okay.
Some other things I learned about it is, although the cause is not exactly known, researchers feel that it could be related to changes in the brain's neural pathways. The pathways specifically that involve in how we manage our emotions, our movements, our habits, and the way we control our impulses, that those neural pathways somehow are disrupted and distorted, and that those disrupted neural pathways help facilitate that habit of the hair pulling.
That makes sense.
And in my work, in my program, I harness the power of neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to change. So those pathways can be changed into more effective, life-affirming pathways.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And if you can change the neural pathways into, I guess, change the neural pathways to where they don't want to pull.
Yes.
That makes absolute sense to me.
Exactly. As you create a new neural pathway, it becomes your new default. So instead of defaulting to the hair pulling, you're going to default to something that is more productive.
Good.
So yeah, that's a very crucial piece in the program, is the neural pathways.
Right. Right.
And all the exercises I've developed are aimed at helping change those neural pathways. And the cool thing, which I've found, is that you don't need to be re-traumatized by your history in order for the neural pathways to change. In fact, just the opposite. My program is all about being in the solution, which are implementing some things like these tools, as opposed to rehearsing the trauma of the past.
Okay. There's one thing I've noticed with your program. it's not like I don't feel my neural pathway is being changed. You're not supposed to feel it, right?
No, you don't necessarily feel it, but you will notice in time that your responses to situations that may have bothered you before
Right, okay.
don't bother you as much.
Yeah, okay.
That you start to make choices that are better. You start to gravitate to more positive things as opposed to being pulled back into the negativity.
One thing I have noticed is I'm a lot more relaxed than I was before. I mean, how did we meet? I'm going to tell how we met. Actually, I was feeling very down that day, and I was at the gym, and my best friend was talking about, she said something about me feeling down, and you heard that. And then what did you do?
Well, I leaned over and I said, I'm not trying to eavesdrop, but I heard you talking about feeling down, and I told you about my program. I gave you a flyer.
Yep, yep. And then I called you that next week. And then a lady that overheard us came over and said, can I have a flyer too? You know, so doctor, we're all crazy. You'll never sleep over us, you know, you have your work cut out for you.
That's not surprising, because at least 1 out of every 4 to 5 people will struggle with mental health issues at some point in their life.
I think it's got to be more than that. I mean, I don't know the statistics. I don't know. But as time goes on, yeah.
I think we all can use some support, that's for sure.
Yeah, some couch time, definitely.
So I wanted to talk a little bit more about how a person's self-esteem is impacted by their hair loss.
Okay.
What have you noticed?
Oh my goodness. I have clients that will not leave the house if their hair is not done. They're trying to cover it up. They won't leave the house if they can't get an appointment with me. It's really traumatizing. It's very traumatizing. I've had people break down and cry in the chair, break down and cry over the phone. I mean, hair is something that is very important, especially to a female. I mean, to males as well. Don't get me wrong, but my clientele is mostly female. But as female, I mean, it's our armor. You know, it's something that people see all the time. You know, I always tell my clients, you know, what is your thing that you like to buy? What do you like to buy? What is your thing? It may be shoes, it may be a purse, it may be an outfit. Okay, how much did you pay for that St. John suit? Oh, I paid $400 for it. Okay, how often do you wear it? I probably wear it about 4 times a year. Well, you hear something that it's an investment in you. It's something that people see all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So in my case, I've seen how hair loss just has just a negative effect on somebody's self-esteem, causes them a lot of anxiety.
And tell me about one of your clients, their demeanor when they come in, and then their demeanor after you do their.
Oh, you know, after 28 years, because I've been doing this 28 years, I'm still amazed by the transformation. They'll come in with their hair down, wearing a hat. You know, I'm like, come on in, girl. You know, I sit them in the chair, then my fingers get to work. And next thing you know, they have the hair of their dreams. And next thing you know, they're putting on their makeup, they're putting on their lipstick, and they're about to go out, or they're calling their husband. They're like, oh, I'm gonna call my husband tonight, you know, something cute like that. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I've seen your work. It's absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
It's incredible. The before and after pictures, mind-blowing.
Thank you. Yeah, I love what I do. Those are my babies.
And it shows. It shows. It really does. I wish I could show our audience some before and after pictures, because her work is tremendous.
Well, we're going to be exchanging information at the end of this podcast, so maybe they'll get to see them. You also can go on my website.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how you can help somebody who can't come to you in person.
Well, all they have to do is give me a call, and I'll run them how it depends on what they need. If they need a top piece, if they need a full wig, I can show them how to take their own measurements. We do a Zoom call like we're doing right now. And we take it from there.
Wow, that's awesome. So there is nobody you can't help since you don't even need to be there in person.
No, not at all. No, depending on the hair loss condition, and depending on where they want to be, I can help them. And I love doing that.
And I was curious if you could give me and us some tips on, in addition to making ourselves look beautiful, some things that you've learned to help boost self-esteem.
Let's see, besides hair or along with hair, I love listening to motivational messages. That really helps me with my confidence and helps me figure things out and lets me know that I'm not alone. Just doing little things like from what I've learned from other therapists, like when you get up, even if you have nowhere to go that day, get dressed, put your makeup on.
Absolutely.
You know, put your makeup all full blown out, you know, do your hair. You know, me, I wear wigs, I'll put on a different wig, or when I get the feeling down, I'll make myself another wig, you know. Just little things like that help.
It's actually huge what you said about getting up, getting dressed, putting on some makeup, putting on some nice clothes. Even though the inside may not match, just the act of putting on those garments and the makeup and being in that ready go mode, it will elevate your mood.
I told one client that, and she was dealing with severe depression to where and I've been there, where she couldn't get out of bed. I said, do this for me. I said, get up, get dressed, and then get back in the bed. You know, just little baby steps like that can help a woman or help anybody go forward trajectory.
And chances are, once that person got up and got ready, they probably didn't go back to bed.
Even if they did something else before they went back to bed, you know, even if they that getting up, getting ready made them go to the mailbox, that's still one extra thing that they did that they would not have done.
Right. I love it. Because we build one little step at a time.
Right. As you're teaching me.
Right. Exactly. You can't get from A to Z in one jump.
Yes, none of that.
A lot of little steps together.
Yep. And they matter.
In fact, it takes 90 days to create a new neural pathway in our brain. So when you're developing a new thought process, a new belief, to reinforce it, you have to act on it for 90 days straight.
Okay.
So if you're building a new habit, like if you're depressed, just getting out of bed and getting ready, it's going to take 90 days sometimes for that pathway to become the default.
Okay.
And then those new pathways, they're still baby pathways. Right. So you're going to be pulled to the old way of operating. So it takes input, constant input to really make those new pathways solid.
Wow. Wow.
So I encourage people not to get discouraged. I've heard it. A lot of people say, well, I tried that once for a week and it didn't work. Well, it's because it takes 90 days.
So have patience with yourself and have grace with yourself.
Right.
I understand that.
And celebrate the small wins.
Right.
I think so often we beat ourselves up because we're not where we want to be. And we think that we have to do something big in order to give ourselves credit.
Right. I was listening to this conversation with you. Exactly.
Yeah. Every little bit, reward yourself, you know, acknowledge the little steps. And the big steps will come.
Don't worry about that.
Right. And it's okay to fall back so long as you keep getting up and moving forward.
Right. That's important.
It doesn't have to be done perfect. In fact, it can't be done perfect. And if you think about it, people who I see come to me and they've been perhaps depressed or anxious for decades. So it would make sense that they're not going to turn around overnight. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Right.
But fortunately, in the program I created, even after just a few lessons, I see people make tremendous progress. And that's because the steps are action steps that you can implement from day one. It's not just rehearsing the problem, it's actually taking an action step in that quest to change the neural pathway.
And like I said, when you're doing it, you could be so deep in the thongs of depression, you're just like, nothing's gonna get me out. Like part of it with you is coloring. You're coloring a dog and you're like, why am I coloring this dog? I don't even know this dog. I don't even like dogs, you know? But you know, I've just learned to just do as I'm told. Because I want to get out so bad. Just do as I'm told. So whatever you tell me, I follow through.
Well, Josette is referring to, for those of you who might be wondering, part of the program involves doing a little bit of art. I have supplied and created little dog portraits that can be printed and colored. And the act of coloring, they are cute little dogs. The act of coloring is not just for the sake of numbing out or doing something silly. It actually activates our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our calming system. It helps us to feel at peace and calm. It releases a chemical called oxytocin, which is a feel-good chemical. So there's a reason for every little action that I've created in the program, that being just fun.
It's cool. It's fun though. It will calm you down.
And it's simple. It's simple to do.
A no-brainer. Coloring these little cute dogs.
And each dog actually goes with a lesson. So there's a different dog to represent each different lesson.
I'm on the pug. I'm coloring Barney the pug.
Barney the pug, I love it.
No, but yeah, when you asked me to do this podcast, I thought that was a genius idea to actually get my business across because, like you said, mental health and hair, most people think they don't go together, but they do, especially since COVID. I'm seeing more and more people with hair loss than I've ever seen in my life, and in such a young age. Such a young age. I just had a client that I'm gonna give her your number. I was doing her hair and as I was running my hands through her head, just gobs of hair were coming out. Just gobs of hair was just coming out. And she admitted it's because of her job, it's because of her being stressed out. If she keeps going on like that, it's not gonna be good.
Right. Well, I appreciate the referral. Look forward to meeting her.
No problem.
So tell us how we can get a hold of you. What's your website, your contact information?
Okay, my name is Josette Desrosier, and my company's name is California Hair Extensions, Salon Academy, and Hair Loss Center, but you can just type in California Hair Extensions. My website is calhairextensions.com. And my phone number is 858-231-1837. And not only do I deal with hair loss, I mean, that is a big part of my business, but I specialize in hair extensions as well. I have over 28 years of experience. I also teach classes that I certify students in different courses regarding hair extension and hair augmentation. So that's really fun. So I do everything. I'm I'm a one-stop shop.
And she is amazing, everybody. I've seen her work. Tell us your phone number again.
Okay.
Real slow.
Okay. 858-231-1837. And that's calhairextensions.com. Calhairextensions.com.
Check it out, everybody. Josette is amazing, and I know that she can help you. And if I can be of any service, if you have anxiety, depression, you find yourself just in a mental funk, you are weighed down, you're in survival mode, and you want to thrive, you want your freedom, please come to my website, www.doggonedepression.com. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you, doctor. Long as they don't take my spot.
There's plenty of spots.
Yes, there are.
All right.
All
Thank you
right.
again.
Bye.
Bye.